Hey guys, in today's video, what we are going to demonstrate is we are going to use Let's Encrypt certificate and see if our MS Teams call routing works or not. In order to use that, what we can do is we can generate the CSR from the audio codes, and then we get it signed from the Let's Encrypt certificate authority. And the good part about Let's Encrypt certificate is you don't need to pay any money if you are signing it for 3 months. So let's say if you want to use the certificate for 1 year, then you have to pay some amount to the Let's Encrypt community. Otherwise, let's say if you want to use it for 3 months and after that you want to renew the certificate manually, then you can use it for free. So let's say if I generate the certificate today, and my certificate will be valid for, let's say, next 3 months, and I have to renew the certificate by generating the CSR again and make it valid for another 3 months again. So in this way, I have to keep repeating the process if I have to use the certificate for free. Otherwise, I can sign it from GoDaddy or any providers which is being supported by Microsoft and get it for a year or two, whatever number of years we want, right? So now at this moment, if you look at my browser here, my certificate is signed by GoDaddy. So if you see here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate the CSR and try to use Let's Encrypt to sign the certificate. And we'll see if MS Teams works or not using Let's Encrypt. So let's validate that. So right now, if you see, I have this is my Teams where I have my direct routing configured on the Teams. Now, if you go back to the name server, this is my hosting plan where I have pointed to, uh, let's say, okay, so sorry, there was someone at the door. So I'm using this hosting, this particular DNS server to, route or make the DNS entries towards my public domain or towards my public IP. So where I'm seeing like okay for sbc.collabguru.com, you point it towards my public IP address interface. So here I'm managing the DNS information, and I'm also going to use this particular DNS server to sign the certificates from either from let's say GoDaddy or maybe from Let's Encrypt. So in this video, we are going to use Let's Encrypt. So I'll show you how to, add the entries in this hosting plan so that you can sign the certificates from Let's Encrypt. Okay, so let's go back to audio codes. So here, right now, what I'll do is if you click on the certificate information, so it sees some of the information here like this certificate is not valid not before February 22 and not after February 22, 2023. So, and these are the signing authorities and all this information you get it here. So let's do one thing. Let's change the certificate and generate the certificate from here. So sbc.collabguru.com, let's use the as common name, IT, CG, PLR, KIN. So these are the names which I'm going to use. So the common name is going to be sbc.collabguru.com, and then organization unit, I'm going to keep it as IT. Company name, I'll make it as CG, which means Collabguru, and locality or city name is BLR. State, I'll put it as KA, and country is IN. And in the subject alternative name, what I'm going to put is I'm going to put the domain, domain name. Otherwise, you can also put if you have any alternate names for this SBC, maybe like let's say sbc1.collabguru.com, for example. So you can put that as in the send name. And this all information I'm going to keep it as default. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a CSR from this. So if you see here right now, the CSR, what it has created is this CSR. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign this CSR from the Let's Encrypt. So let's do that. Before that, I wanted to make sure or before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on generate a self-signed certificate. So what it says is warning, generating a self-signed certificate will override the current installed certificate. Are you sure you want to do that using a you want to generate a self-signed certificate? I'll say yes, yes. So to complete the certificate replacement process, close this browser and open any new session. I click on the close. Now, if you try to open this page, right, it'll show you as insecure. I'll click on advanced. So as you see, right, it is because of the insecurity, it is not allowing me to log into the audio code. So what I'll do is I'll access this from the web page and let's see, or maybe I'll use IE to do that. Yes, now it is allowing me. Okay, so I'll come here in the IP TLX context and then change certificate. I'll create a CSR again and copy the CSR. So as you know, right, in the previous step, what we have used the same information to generate the CSR. So we'll use the same information to generate the CSR here also. And then what I'm going to do is I'm close this browser and I'm going to SSL certificate. So this is punchsalad.com. So they have provided a web-based option where you can generate a free SSL certificate. So now you can use this, or maybe you can use a command prompt to generate the certificate for a Let's Encrypt. So in this video, I'm not going to use a command prompt option. So maybe in the upcoming videos, if I get an opportunity, I'll show you like how to generate the certificate from the command prompt. Okay, so here it is asking you for the domain name. So I'm going to put as sbc.collaborate.com and it is asking me to put an email address. So I'll put it something as this. And then it is asking me to use an option called HTTP or DNS. So I'm going to select as DNS. The reason I'm not selecting as HTTP is because I have to get it, I have to do the authentication for the HTTP, which means like I have to add some of the files in my hosting server, and this DNS server is going to, or this particular website is going to validate if that file valid or not, because they want to make sure like authentication, or they want to make sure like I'm putting this request and this request is valid. So they want to use if you want to use HTTP and if you have a hosting server, you can use that. Otherwise, you can if you have just a hosting plan, sorry, web domain only, then what you can do is you can just make of use of a DNS server and then use that. So as in this video, we are going to use a DNS option. So I'll click on DNS here and then in the accept Let's Encrypt uh, SA and then click on create free SSL certificate. So as soon as I do that, right, it is going to say, it is saying me like, okay, let's validate that you own this sbc.collaborate.com. So as I say in the previous step, right, so this website wants this to be validated. Like if you are the real owner of sbc.collaborate.com, and if they are able to verify, then only you will be able to generate the certificate, otherwise you will not. So this is if you are selecting a hosting, if you are selecting a HTTP option, then you have to validate by putting some files in your hosting account. But in our case, we have selected a DNS option, right? So we have to add some of the text in our DNS server, and then this particular website is going to validate. So right now, if what it says is logging to your domain host account of your domain, and then go to the DNS record setting and create a new text record, and then in the name alias field, enter the domain text record from the below table as example. This is the table it is talking about. In the value field, enter the verification code from the below table. So this is what it is talking about. And then wait for a few minutes for the text record to propagate, and you can check if it worked by clicking on the check DNS button. If you have multiple entries, make sure all of them are okay. So let's first check if we already have this added in our domain. So ideally, yes, as you see, the DNS record says okay. The reason being is I already added this in one of the previous step here. So if you search for this particular option, okay, and this entry is added, but let's validate if this value is also matching or not. So if you see here, right, this value is matching. Now let's see if I delete this entry from here. Now, if I come to my come to this website. If I click on check DNS, still it is saying the record is okay. Let's validate if there is any more duplicates. There is no duplicate. I think it may take some time for DNS flush and all these things to happen. So let's wait for some more time. Let's see if there are more entries for this. Okay, as you see, there are a couple of more entries which I'm going to delete. Okay, right now there is no more entries. So let's check the DNS. Still, it is saying as okay because I think the entries are yet to be flushed properly. So it may take up to 5 minutes. So ideally, what it should say you is like when you don't have this entry added, right? It should give you a failure a message like, okay, we are not able to verify that this particular hosting account or this particular domain belongs to you. So let me try one more time. Okay, it still says DNS record. Okay, so I mean, I believe it may take some couple of more minutes for this to happen. So I'm not going to wait for that time. So let's add the entry. Let me show you how to add this entry here. So come here in the DNS record, and then you have to select as TXT, and then in the domain text record, right? Copy this particular table, domain text record from here, and paste it here. And now you come back here in the value, copy this value from here and paste the value here in the text value and make the TTL as 3600. Okay, add this record. Okay, so verify it once more time. DNS record is okay. So let's verify the domain. I'll click on this pop-up, close this pop-up, I mean, and now it is generated a certificate, private key as well as a CRT and CA bundle. So let's download this in our system and store that. So I'll save both this file. Okay, now this is successfully saved. So what I'm going to do is, as you know, if I try to open sbc.collabguru.com, if I try to validate this certificate, you see this is a self-signed certificate. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this certificate on this Audiocodes. So what I'll do is I'll come to the Audiocodes, click on back, just verify the certificate information once more. So okay, so as you see, like it is a self-signed certificate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on change certificate, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the private key first. So select all file once again. Okay, now I'll select the private key. So I have to match the certificate. So it says like private key loaded successfully, but not replaced. Since there is no match between the private key and the certificate, please load the matching certificate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and load the device certificate and select this particular CA bundle. And then it says file loaded successfully, private key and certificate were replaced. Okay, click on save and yes. So as soon as I do that, let's try to open this from the browser. Now, as you see, right, this particular padlock icon is showing right now as soon as I, install the private key as well as the certificate. Now let's validate like who has signed this certificate. So if you see here, like this certificate was issued to sbc.collabguru.com online, and this issue was issued by R3. So I'll tell you about R3. So this is valid from today, 13th March 2022 till 11th of June 2022. As I said, like this Let's Encrypt certificates are valid for 3 months only, and after that you have to, renew the certificate. But if you want, as I said, like if you want a certificate for to be valid for a year, then you have to pay price for that. So now come here and see. So as you see the certification path, it is was issued. These are the root certificates, like who issued the certificate and the path. So this looks okay. So if you click, everything looks okay. I'll click on OK right now. So as we have done with these particular certificates, right? So if you see here, like a IP group is disconnected, let's validate if it is going to be reconnected or not. Now I'll come here in the audio codes. click on monitoring and then proxy set status. So it says the proxy set status to be offline. So let's validate why it is offline. Okay, it is not able to resolve, it seems. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure we are using the right certificates. Okay, let's validate. Okay, so the reason it might be not connecting is because you have to install the Baltimore certificate. So at this moment, if you see here in the registration status, sorry, proxy status, it says as offline. So let's try to add the Baltimore certificate and see if it is going to help us. Come here, import, and then select the Baltimore certificate. Okay, as soon as I do this, I'll click on save, come to monitoring. Now, if you see here, it has become online. So as soon as I install the Baltimore certificate, it has come online. So right now, if you see the padlock icon issue has fixed, and if you see like this particular certificate, after installing the Baltimore certificate, this has come online. So rest everything I have done already. So ideally, if I try to make calls from my Teams to Audiocodes, sorry, Teams to Audiocodes, yes, so the call should come in. So let's see if that call comes in. So if you see I'll make a call from +918010,004 to +918010,001, and let's see if the call comes in. Okay, see, the call has come in.
Come in.
So I was
So
able
I
to
was
answer
able
the
to
call.
answer the call.
So just to make sure, I mean, we are heading the right direction. So what I want to do is I want to reset this device just to make sure after installing Let's Encrypt certificate, the support is still there. It is not like you have to necessarily install those GoDaddy certificates for your lab, but let's validate this by resetting this device, or I would say reboot this device. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reboot this device. Okay, let's wait for a couple of more minutes so that the device can come up. Okay, I'll pause that video for now. Okay, so the device has come up. So I'll log in again to the device just to make sure like all the services are running up and fine. So we see here the IP group is connected properly. So let's validate the proxy set here. All are online. And let me show you the certificate here. And certificate is also valid and it is signed by Let's Encrypt again. So as I said, the certificate installation has worked. So now let's click on the direct routing. If you see here in the direct routing, there is no error at this moment. So svc.collabguru.online has, I mean, it has proper reachability, it seems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a call again. Let's see if the call comes in from the Teams to Cisco IP phone. Okay, looks like the system is a little hanged. Okay, now it says the call is coming. So as you see, I'm able
I'm
to
able
answer
to
the
answer
call.
the call.
So the call
So the
is
call is
connected between
connected
these two
between these two
devices.
devices.
So let me try making a call from this Cisco IP phone to Teams and see if that call also goes through. Okay. Okay, as you see, Teams is getting a call. So I just answered the call
And the call,
and the
and
call
the
has
call
been
has
answered
been answered
successfully.
successfully.
So this clearly shows you can use any of the certificates, maybe the one which is recommended by Microsoft. I'll take you through the link. What are the certificates which are recommended by Microsoft? Just give me a second. Okay, if you come here, like I have written an article on this, what all things you need for the Teams integration with audio codes. So I'll just tell you about the certificates which are recommended by Microsoft. So let me zoom it little so that it will be easily visible for you. So these are some of the providers which Microsoft recommends that you should be getting your certificates signed it from these providers. So which includes DigiCert and I guess GoDaddy, etc. Okay. So these are the recommended provider. But however, in this lab, what we have validated is it is not necessary that we have to use this certificate. We can also use Let's Encrypt certificate in order to make and receive calls and integrate our audio codes with MS Teams. Okay. Just make sure like you read the pros and cons on the web, like what are the pros and cons of using Let's Encrypt certificate and what are the risks involved in using this certificate. But however, at this point of time, for our lab, I've used Let's Encrypt, so it has worked successfully. So please try this option at your own risk by reading all the articles and all and see what is best suitable for your organization to use. Okay. All right. I hope you like this video. Please do share your feedback. Let us know your feedback on the comments. I'll try to come up with another video where I'm going to sign in the certificates from GoDaddy. All right. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.